What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Married to Medicine season number 11, episode number 2. The episode was titled Quad Gets Her Groove Back, you guys. Now, before we get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Married to Medicine, you guys, shall we? All right, you guys, so you know the episode, how Married to Medicine always starts up. We see a montage of what the girls are doing, and then we get to Simone and Cecil, right? So Simone is talking about the fact that, after the party, baby girl wasn't really feeling too hot. She wasn't feeling that hot, and I'm like, I bet you won, girl. Y'all was turned up at that party, and we here for it, love to see it. And so then, Cecil apologized. She's talking about she got the bubble guts, right? So Cecil apologizes to Simone for inviting Quad to the party, right? But Cecil's whole thing is he felt that, Simone and Quad, they were once cool with each other, and they could probably, they could get back to being where they previously were. Now, if you guys watch What Happens Live last night, Simone was shading the hell out of Quad on Watch What Happens Live. So I don't know where their current relationship is with each other right now. I don't know if they made up with each other at any point during this season because, again, Watch What Happens Live, that episode was just filmed less than a week ago. So we shall see where they stand. I don't know where they currently stand. Like I said, Simone was definitely shady on Watch What Happens Live. Even Toya was a little shady too, right? So after that, we see Letitia and Dr. Gregory. Letitia, girl, what I'm going to say is if you like it, I love it. Nothing with Dr. Gregory would be it for me. Dr. Gregory and that voice, it's just a resounding absolute without a doubt. A hell no for me. So we see them at dinner. Then on top of that, his voice, that outfit that Dr. Gregory had on when they went to dinner, I was like, girl, what the hell is this outfit? It's hideous. It's ugly. And, she's telling him how much she likes when he looks like a nerd or whatever. I was like, okay, I don't know if I need to be listening to this, hearing this. Actually, I know for a fact I don't need to be listening to this. Actually, I know for a fact I don't want to listen to this. I don't want to hear this. Can y'all please get off my television screen with this crap? Like, I don't want to hear nothing about Dr. Gregory and Letitia, how he get turned on by this and she get turned, no. Then him talking about the fact that, they saw a baby, they want to go home and start making it. I said, absolutely not. I do not want to hear about these two having the sexuals at all. Now, Letitia, I said it last season. I said at the beginning of episode 1, I ain't had an issue with you last season. I don't have an issue with you this season, right? But what we not finna do is we not finna sit here and play games with each other, right? And y'all might be saying, JB, what you talking about play games with each other? And Letitia, this is directed towards you. I was talking to you. So, yes, we all know that Heavenly said a lot of things about you last season, and she started with you, right? And you continue to go back and forth with Heavenly. So the problem that I have now is it's like you're trying to make it out that Heavenly has said and done stuff to you, but you're without fault. No, Letitia, like you gave as good as, y'all both gave as good as you got with each other, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and be upset with Heavenly. If I'm gonna be upset with Heavenly, then I'm gonna be upset with you at the same time. Like, you said stuff about Heavenly. Heavenly says stuff about you. Y'all, it's like a ping pong. Boink, 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 boink. It goes back and forth with you in Heavenly. So y'all have said things about each other. Now, did Heavenly go below the belt and bringing in Dr. G? Yes, but you also brought in Dr. Damon, and you're talking about stuff that Mariah said when Mariah was on the show. So you don't know that stuff. You don't know Dr. Gregory. I mean, Dr. Damon, the way that, Mariah knew him. Like Mariah had relationships with these people. She knew these people. Like she was real friends with these people. You aren't just coming into this group. So for you to regurgitate what Mariah said was wrong. Let's just be real with it and be real with each other. And that is it, right? So after that, we see Letitia. So Letitia was over to Dr. Contessa's home, right? And Dr. Contessa. Y'all know I like that. Y'all do know I do like Dr. Contessa. Dr. Contessa did get on my nerves her last season with Heavenly. Because here's my thing when it comes to Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly does it every fucking season she will say stuff on YouTube, on her channel, on Carlos King's channel, when she be on Carlos's channel, on Twitter, wherever. Heavenly is going to say on Watch What Happens Live, Heavenly says things about all the ladies. She comes back to you guys apologetic. But then the next season, she does the same thing. She says something else again that pisses y'all off. And y'all forgive Heavenly. So, Dr. Contessa, I don't want your whole grievance coming back to the show to be your beef with Heavenly. Please don't let it be that. I'm just asking you not to let it be that. Because we didn't have you last season, right? So you had a whole season off. Come back, let's do something different. But not when it comes to Heavenly. Speaking of Heavenly, we see Dr. Heavenly, right? So she is talking to Dr. Damon and telling Damon how, she had a good time at Whitnick. I was like, you did? Even the moment where you told him to get that bitch off you? Okay, if you feel like you had a good time, then you had a good time, right? So she's talking about Letitia, right? What I will say is, with Dr. Damon, I agree with him that Letitia speaking on him was out of turn, out of line, because she doesn't know him and he doesn't know her. I'll give you that. But I'm going to call Dr. Damon out a little bit later when we get into the review. And, I agree with him in that aspect. Now, after that, we see Dr. Jackie. So Dr. Jackie, y'all know Dr. Jackie always got the celebrity clients, right? So this season, her celebrity client is Cash Doll. And we all know Cash Doll has already had her baby. At that point, Cash Doll was ready to give birth. Wait, when was this filmed? Either way it goes, we know Cash Doll already had her baby. So that was really it. Dr. Jackie was just basically telling her, like, girl, don't you take your butt back on tour and doing all that kind of stuff after you had this baby. The one thing I love about Married to Medicine is that, we definitely do get the moments where we talk about things that happen to Black women in childbirth and all that kind of stuff. So I was happy to see it. I love to see it. And that was really, truly all that we got with Dr. Jackie in this episode. So we're going to keep on moving. Now, we move on to Quad. Now, in this particular stuff, we may have some differing opinions when it comes to Quad, because I feel and I'm going to talk about how I feel about last season and even this current season that we have, right? And I'm going to say what I feel, and if you guys agree, cool. If you guys disagree, ain't no skin off my back, right? You know what I'm saying? So, also, go back to Dr. Heavenly real quick, right? The thing with Dr. Heavenly is, Heavenly, like I said, she does the same stuff every season, right? With a person like Heavenly, you literally got to show her that fat meat is greasy, because she think that fat meat ain't greasy. So you got to show her that it actually is. So when talking to her don't work, Sometimes you might just have to go upside a itch's head, right? And that's just how I feel when it comes to Heavenly. So Quad is getting ready to celebrate her 43rd birthday, right? And she's inviting all the ladies, which I'm so confused because it said a night in Paris, right? But she's having burlesque ain't a French thing, is it? Where does burlesque come from? Where does burlesque come from? I didn't think it was French. Is it French? When I think of burlesque, even like what who was it that said in this episode? When I think of burlesque, I think of Lady Marmalade, and I also think of the movie Burlesque with Christina Aguilera and Cher in it. I love that movie. I love that movie. Like burlesque, where does burlesque come from? Where does it originate? It's Italian. Oh, it's Italian. Okay. Italy and Paris. Italy, Paris. Not the same. Okay, but one thing about us as black people, baby, we love a theme. And if it makes sense to Quad, it makes sense to Quad, but it don't make sense to me. But hey, I ain't the one that paid for it, so it don't have to make sense to me either. Exactly. Yeah. We good. We good. So we see Quad as she is sending out, giving the ladies their invitations, right? So we see her as she went to give Dr. Simone her invitation. I thought it was very interesting because you and Simone are Kiki and Kakan, but y'all ain't had a conversation with each other. But okay, fakeness. But hey, if they like it, I love it. I really don't, but hey, if they do, then it is what it is. It is what it is, right? So, what else we see? So then we see as she took Contessa her invitation, right? And Letitia is there. Now, what I will say is, I'm not mad that Quad didn't invite Letitia, right? I don't have a problem with that. The only thing that I will call out is that last season, Quad showed up, I'm using air quotes, Quad showed up uninvited to Letitia's bachelorette party, right? I know that there was a production event, but Quad's birthday party is a production event as well. Again, like I said, I'm not upset about it because here's my thing. I'm not upset that Quad didn't invite her. And last season, I wouldn't have been upset if Quad didn't go to Letitia's bachelorette party because why would I want to go to the bachelorette party of the woman that is marrying my ex-husband? Like I wasn't upset about that. I wouldn't have been upset about that, right? But I know people might say, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? And I'll agree with you guys on that. I'll agree to that, but because one, I can see if people say, well, if Quad was able to go to her bachelorette party, she should have been able to come to Quad's birthday party, right? I can see people saying that, and I can get it because you guys are both on the same television show with each other. You guys are filming a show. These are paid events, so I can see people's logic with that. But I'm not necessarily upset about her not inviting Letitia. What I did have a problem with was two things in that particular scene. Letitia came to the door. I ain't saying that Quad got to be besties with her, Kiki with her, have anything, Kiki with her, all that kind of stuff, because you don't have to. But you told Letitia last season, you sat down and made a conscious decision to have a conversation with her and tell her that you don't have any issues with her. So if you don't have any issues with her, then you ain't gotta, like I said, you ain't gotta be besties with the girl, but you can at least say, hi Letitia, how you doing? And leave it at that, right? I know people may disagree with me. That's fine. The second thing that I had an issue with was those women in the car with Quad asking her who was that old lady. Y'all being shady towards that girl for no fucking reason. She ain't done nothing to none of y'all. So, and I like the fact that Quad kind of nipped that in the bud. Not necessarily, not really, but she did it in her Quad way. Nipped it in the bud, right? So, one thing I will say, Dr. Simone, baby, whoever did your hair and makeup, keep them. That hair, I don't know if it was a wig. If it was a wig, they did a phenomenal job with their hair because it looked like it was coming from your scalp. If it is hair from your scalp, whoever did it, keep them. Whoever did your makeup, keep them. Keep them. So Toya is talking to Dr. Simone and telling Dr. Simone that, girl, you need to go ahead and talk to Quad because I ain't really feeling this whole stuff. Y'all been tiptoeing around the BS, and I'm like, y'all know it. When it comes to me, y'all know I don't see it for Toya. Y'all know Toya irks my spirit, gets on my last nerve. But in this particular scene, I agree with Toya. I actually agreed with Toya. I did. I did. And Simone is saying that she knows she owes Quad an apology. Well, why don't you sit down with her and have the adult conversation and apologize to her? Like that would be the right thing to do instead of you saying, I know I went too far. I know this. I know that. I know. Just apologize to her and leave it at that. So, Toya says that Quad's issue is not what happened at the reunion. I said, it ain't? She said, no. I said, then what the hell is the issue? So she says, well, Quad's issue is what happened in Napa. I said, run that back. What happened in Napa? Okay, I'm going to give Quad what happened in Napa. The girls were wrong for how they came at her in Napa. I will give you that. But Quad, at the same token, like I said in the last video and last season, you weren't right to the girls. You threw these girls to the side for those sister circle girls. Once that show got canceled, that's when you came running back to the Married to Medicine girls. I will never forget that season when you had your party and you was like, those women on Sister Circle showed you what real friendship can be with women. But you had this cast right there in that room and they all felt the way about it. So let's stop playing games, Quad. Like, you have as much fault in the fracture of your relationship with these ladies as they do as well, right? But then also I want to call you out, Quad, because the same way that they did you is the same exact way that they did Mariah. You were here for the way that they treated Mariah. I'm not a Mariah fan. By no means am I. You guys can go back and watch when Mariah was on Married to Medicine. And I reviewed that season, Mariah's last season. You guys can go back and watch those reviews. I didn't feature Mariah. I still don't feature Mariah, but I still can be honest enough to say Mariah was good for Married to Medicine when she was on the show. Now, season 1 Mariah and season 1 Quad did annoy my soul and my spirit, right? But as we got to really see them for who they really were, outside of what they were putting on for the show, I grew to be like, you know what? I don't see it for Mariah. I don't see it for Quad, but these two are good for the show. But like I said a few minutes ago, you were okay with it when they were icing out Mariah, Quad. You were okay when they did that to that woman. But then when they did it to you, you were in your feelings. Like, don't play with me, Quad. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. But it is what it is, right? So the ladies get to the party. And they found out that Quad's boyfriend paid for the party. Now, mind you, nobody knew that Quad had a boyfriend, right? So it was so funny because Dr. Heavenly was going around trying to find Quad's boyfriend. But before that, she saw Contessa, gave Contessa another hug. I was like, Contessa, let it go, girl. Just let it go. It wasn't. I know you were upset about her for what she said about your marriage, right? And let me say, I know what I said in this when I reviewed that season. I don't think I finished season 9 of Married to Medicine. I didn't, but I know what I said that season, and I still stand on what I said, and I still stand on what I said because I remember exactly what I said. The thing with Contessa is the viewing public was saying the same things that Quad was not Quad, but Dr. Heavily was saying, right? But I do get where she's coming from. I did get then, and I still get now where Contessa was coming from. It's one thing for me, a YouTuber, to say it, right? It's one thing for any of us YouTubers to say it. It's one thing for people to say it on Twitter. It's another thing when it's coming from somebody that is on the show with you, that is your friend. If you feel this way as my friend, do not say that to complete strangers, right? Because let's not sit here and act and pretend as if people don't go on social media and be like, oh, girl, your own friend said this is this. Like, let's not pretend like people don't go under these people's comments on Instagram, on Twitter, or wherever and say, well, girl, your friend Heavenly was saying this about you, so it must be true. Da, 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 da. Like, let's not pretend like people don't do that. So I think that's ultimately why she was pissed, right? But girl, sit down with her and have a conversation with her. It is what it is, right? Now, Quad. Did I see that thirsty ass Milan Christopher backstage with you as you was getting ready to go out there on stage? Quad's entrance. Here was an entrance, right? So we meet her boyfriend, King. And, Quad gave a speech about him. Now, I will say, though, they talking about the fact that King is young, but King don't look that young to me. I thought King was about in his 40s. That's what I was thinking 40s. They say 30s. I was like, he looks like he's in his 30s? I was like, okay, I could see late 30s. But let me know what you guys, and that's not me being shady by no means, so don't take it as I'm being shady. I'm just saying I didn't think that he would, but I also did watch it on my phone, so I didn't watch it on the television, so he could look like he's in his 30s, but on my phone, I was squinting, not really squinting, but I was looking like, I don't see the 30, but okay. Toya brought up Quad brought up the fact that Letitia wasn't there. And, Toya tried to compare it to Nap. I was like, now, Toya, that's no comparison. But, okay, if that's what you want to go with, girl, go with it. Now, this is the scene that kind of tripped me up and pissed me off a little bit. No, it didn't piss me off a little bit. It pissed me off a lot because it was very hypocritical. So the guys got together, right? And so Quad told the guys that they didn't have to come to her birthday party, right? So Dr. Damon and Dr. Gregory are talking, and Dr. Gregory is telling, Dr. Damon, like, and I said it in last week's review, Heavenly definitely came for that man's practice. Talking about how he wasn't respected in the community, and she made comments about his practice. So then Dr. Damon over here talking about, so I want to be correct with what Dr. Damon said. Dr. Damon said he said that the man was being sensitive, and he asked him, "Is he okay?" I said, "Excuse you?" But then Dr. Damon wants to sit up here and say, well, Letitia talking about him cheating bothered him. I said, are you okay? Why are you being so sensitive? The fuck? Like, you talking about, granted, it's your reputation, but your wife said something about him. Your wife said something about his practice. Like, I know you can't control what comes out of Heavenly's, well, you probably can. I mean, she calls you daddy, so you probably can control some of the stuff that comes out of Heavenly's mouth, but like, you could have said something to, you could call Heavenly, I'd be like, Heavenly, and she even said that she was wrong. So what are you talking about? Heavenly had to come out and apologize. Dr. Damon really pissed me off, for real. He pissed me off in that moment. But that's the episode, you guys. They made up with each other. I don't know if I would, and here's the thing, you guys know, Dr. G is not my favorite person. By any stretch of the imagination, is Dr. G my favorite person. but I had to defend Dr. G. But yeah, you guys, let me know what you guys thought about the episode down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, do me a solid favor, you guys. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.